This is the original Nixie. They were manufactured by Cherry for Nixdorf Computers, which was a computer manufacturer from West Germany back in the latter half of the 20th century. The Nixie was unique among Cherry MX switches at the time for its milky white top housing, and now they're known to be the smoothest Cherry MX switch. Back in the day when I had no kids and way more money, I got my hands on some, complete with the white Nixie for the spacebar. But since Cherry decided to re-release the Nixie with their new MX Black clear top, I wanted to see if the new Nixies could live up to the hype. Let's get started right after you click-see that like button. The MX Black clear tops use the same scratchy formula as all Cherry switches, with a proprietary nylon blend housing and a palm stem. Ironically, it seems like Cherry still wasn't able to improve the spring quality after almost 50 years, because the 63.5 gram actuation force springs sound just like every other Cherry MX switch. Talking about the stock experience, they don't really feel different from your typical MX Black, although they do have a slightly brighter return sound, which is to be expected from the milky versus opaque black top seen on other Cherry switches. Take a listen after I spring swapped for 63.5 gram Sprit springs, lubed with Krytox 205G0 and filmed with Deskeys films. Now they sound and feel good with that typical Cherry scratchiness and that satisfying acoustic profile, but how do they compare to true vintage Nixies? I compared them side by side and the results were pretty shocking. Here we go. My wallet really wanted to hate the results of this comparison, but the truth of the matter is, the MX Black clear tops sound very similar to true Nixie switches. That being said, to my fingers, the Nixies do feel quite a bit smoother even after the lube and film. Now there's a lot of debate as to why vintage switches in general feel better than their modern counterparts, and I actually started this channel by comparing Vint Blacks to the then newly released Hyperglides. But at the end of the day, these new Nixies are close enough to the original that you'd be crazy to pay the tens of dollars per switch for vintage Nixies unless you're just trying to flex. So now let's talk value. While these are obviously way cheaper than the insane aftermarket prices for Nixies, the MX Black clear top comes in at 60 cents per switch, which you can pick up at different vendors worldwide. I picked mine up at Novelkeys, but the real question is, should you buy these switches? And if I'm being honest, these new Nixies are a bit of a letdown. Now you might be asking, if they sound and feel pretty close to the originals, why am I disappointed? Well, to me, it feels like Cherry, who invented the MX switch, could be doing so much more than just rehashing the oldies but goodies. We've seen every other company that manufactures MX switches come out with new switch designs and different plastics, while Cherry seems to be stuck in the past. Yes, these switches sound and feel fine, but on the shelf behind me, I've got dozens of switches that sound just as good, but are infinitely more smooth than even my vintage Nixies. Cherry, if you're watching this, I'd love to see you manufacture something really new. And I'd love to see you offer something different. Because from where I'm sitting, this kind of just feels like a cash grab. Reasonable minds may differ, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out some more keyboard content here. I'm MakerMods, and I'll catch you in the next video.